So a couple of things I wanted to discuss with basketball. First thing, I know we've been talking a little bit about Jasper Johnson, the recruit out of Lexington, Kentucky, that is looks like going to be deciding between Alabama and Kentucky. A lot of reports that we've been hearing is that Kentucky may have closed the deal, but Alabama is not out of it yet. His official decision date has been set for September the 5th. So if you'll be on the lookout for that, I will cover it as soon as we get a decision from him. Like I said, it sounds like Kentucky has made a pretty large NIL push, that Mark Pope is not looking to have the Lexington native kind of ripped out from under him, but we'll see if Alabama and Preston and Nate Oates can close the deal. Then we do have a couple of visitors going to be coming up here in the coming weeks. We've got Caleb Wilson and Hudson Greer, as well as some other guys coming on September the 7th. And then AJ DeBanza and Malik Thomas, two of the biggest recruits for next season, are going to be both visiting on the 28th. I know you'll have heard me talk about DeBanza a little bit in the past. So that's something to kind of be on the lookout for. Both of those guys coming, both top 10 recruits coming for that Georgia game. I'm sure it's going to be a huge recruiting weekend, both football and basketball. Just going to be a big weekend on campus altogether. As well, something else that's come out here in this recently is the video from the team retreat / boot camp. If you're familiar with the basketball team and things that they kind of do over the summer, Nate Oates and team the last couple of years have done a boot camp kind of retreat with the guys, where they go on. It's about a 48-hour retreat that they go on. There's been video posted on Twitter of kind of day one of that. If you are interested in kind of some off-season content, that is something that's been posted. I really recommend checking it out. It's on the official men's basketball Twitter account. Another thing that has recently been announced that I forgot to cover last episode is that the Final Four banner is going to be officially unveiled on October the 11th at Coleman Coliseum. Students get in free. General public, I believe, gets in for $10. There's going to be, I'm not sure, there's going to be like a dunk contest, a three-point contest, and some other things, as well as the Final Four banner being unveiled. I'm unfortunately not going to be able to be at that. I've got a bachelor party for one of my college roommates from Tuscaloosa, that I'm going to be in Austin, Texas that time. But obviously I will be kind of staying in touch. Like I will, do a recap episode, a little bit talking about, who wins the 3-point contest, what I hear coming out of that. But if you are in town or could get into town, I really recommend attending that. That's going to be a really big thing for the basketball program. And then finally, the last thing I want to discuss is J&J Apparel. And for those of you that aren't familiar, it's a clothing company right in downtown Tuscaloosa. They do a lot of stuff with NIL. They do a lot of different shirts and cool designs. This is actually a J&J shirt that I'm wearing. Their Nick Saban Greatest of All Time shirt they put out last year, right after Saban retired, or I guess early this year. But they're going to be having Grant Nelson in store on Thursday the 29th. So that's this week if you're watching this when it first comes out. At 5 o'clock, Grant Nelson's going to be at the J&J Apparel store in downtown Tuscaloosa. So if you are in town or curious with, meeting Grant, checking out some of the apparel that they have basketball, football, all different types of apparel in there. I really recommend checking it out. Like I said, it's going to be on August the 29th at 5 p.m. So that's really all we had to cover for basketball. Like I said, not a ton, just there was some information that I want to kind of cover off the top. And now we're going to transition into football news.